murder. Nobody's outside, there's no one really at all. What the hell I saw, the hell I saw, the hell I saw, the hell I saw. The town's so small, how could anybody not look me in the eye, or wave as I drive by? The world is such a wonderful place. The world is such a wonderful place. The world is such a wonderful place. La-di-da. La-la-di-da-da. La-di-da.
That was Ode to LRC by Band of Horses. Welcome back to the show. It is 9:33. So just about 11 minutes left into the show. So I hope you're enjoying tonight. It's a beautiful night out there. Pretty warm yet out if you're out and about tonight. Did you know that high up in the atmosphere, half of the dust over North America comes from Asia and elsewhere? Those dust particles can have large but still poorly understood impacts on the weather. Future climate models will need to incorporate the movement from the dust around the world. 3 miles above the United States, the atmosphere is filled with dust that has blown thousands of miles from Asia and elsewhere. The discovery, which used data from a new satellite that provided a three-dimensional view of the air from above, suggests that the transport of tiny dust particles around the world may be having an unexpectedly large impact on storms, temperatures, and other weather patterns. Future climate models may need to factor in dust transport to more accurately predict what's to come and what we can do about it. According to a scientist with the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, half of the particles in North America come from somewhere else, and that was news to her, and had no expectations of that. It's telling us in a lot of ways how small the world is and how interconnected the airspace truly is, according to Lorraine Rimmer, that scientist. So much of what we see in our skies comes from someplace else, and if we're working towards solutions, there has to be a global engagement to do so. Along with ozone, carbon dioxide, and other gases, aerosols hang in the air. These particles come from coal burning and other man-made sources of pollution, as well as from national events, including forest fires and volcanic eruptions. That reminds me of an event that happened when I was 10, when Mount St. Helens erupted, and I was living in central Nebraska at the time, and we had put out a small jar or a bowl, and actually ash from Mount St. Helens had collected just a fine layer on the bowl, and I know that it was even closer into Idaho, Wyoming, and eventually impacted the sunsets around the world back when Mount St. Helens erupted. If you've ever been to the Pacific Northwest, one of my highest recommendations is to go up to Mount St. Helens. It is a beautiful, beautiful sight to behold. It is just magnificent, and still, 30 years later, the devastation is still pretty remnant, although the earth is repairing itself, and you have a lot of grasslands, a lot of animals. It is just an unbelievable sight. So if you're ever up here in the Pacific Northwest, take a look at that. It is quite amazing. It is 9:37, about 7 minutes left into the show. So let me run through another quick story or two real quick for you. Captain Morgan's treasure discovered near Panama, discovered by a team of U.S. archaeologists plundering conducting an underwater search, and Captain Morgan's treasure being the lost fleet of a 17th century Welshman, Captain Harry Morgan. Yes, the very Captain Morgan who makes appearances on countless happy hours in the form of a spiced rum bearing his name, which conveniently funded the ocean expedition. According to CNN, a team led by underwater archaeologist Fritz Hanselman of the River Systems Institute and the Center for Archaeological Studies at Texas State University has discovered swords, barrels, and chests belonging to the real Captain Morgan off of the coast of Panama. Hanselman explained why the rum-fueled exploits matter. He has said, "We're interested in telling the true story of Henry Morgan. Morgan was a legendary figure even in his time. He pretty much ran amok in the Spanish Main, culminating in the sack of Panama City. He sacked a city no one thought could ever be sacked. Keep in mind, multinational alcohol purveyor Diageo, which produces Captain Morgan, sponsored the search for the seafarer's booty. It has also produced a video which can be seen at www.huffingtonpost.com. Search for Captain Morgan." According to Fox News, the undersea artifacts are undergoing restoration at Old Panama Trust in Panama City and will subsequently be studied by London-based experts to determine if they actually belonged to Captain Morgan. A lesson to be learned: don't drink and drive, but do get a pirate-themed brand to sponsor your expedition. I look forward to hearing more about that in the weeks to come. It is 9:39, about 5 minutes left into the show. David Mitchell, a British bookstore owner, has sent fourth-place medals to Olympians. The number of countries participating in the Olympic Games has grown over the years, and the subsequent rise in the number of participating athletes means the competition has only gotten tougher along the way. In an effort to recognize those who just missed winning a medal, one Englishman decided to have some made, inscribed, and sent to the athletes who placed fourth in their events. David Mitchell, not to be confused with the award-winning author, who for more than 40 years has run a bookstore in Derbyshire, spent his own money on what he hopes is viewed as a sincere act of kindness and appreciation. There has been an increase in competitiveness, and higher standards need to be taken into account, according to Mitchell. British divers Tom Daly and Peter Waterfield, who came in fourth in the men's synchronized 10-meter platform diving event, were the first recipients of Mitchell's medals, but he said he's not just focusing on British athletes. How do you think the Olympic athletes will react by receiving Mitchell's medals? Let me know, and I will gladly read your comments. You can message me on Facebook. I've gotten a couple of them since reading that story. Or you can leave a message on Spreaker.com. It is 9:41. Time for another quick song here, and then I'll do some shout-outs before I close out the show for the night. This is the Yeah Yeah Yeahs with Miles Away.
Cars go by under the sun like an enemy. You wonder, you wonder, you wonder. As a spider comes and looks at you like an enemy. You wonder, you wonder, you wonder. Well, miles, miles away, she's hurt fewer people in a better world. Miles, miles away, dressed again in the world.
That was Miles Away by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. Got a minute left in the show, minute and 15. So I'm going to take some time and do some shout-outs for some very good friends of mine out there on Facebook. The first one is for Penny. Penny, I hope you're having a great night. I hope things are going better for you, and I hope your kids are doing well. Deidre Greenfield up in Seattle, Washington area. I hope you're doing well, getting ready for college this year. And tell your mom and dad hi, and I miss doing the shows with them. And got another one for Rachel Abel out in Nebraska. Rachel, I hope you're doing well tonight, and appreciated your comments on my Facebook page and regarding my question about fear. And last and certainly not least is a whole high school classmate back from Banner County days, Jen Dillinger. Jen is a teacher now out in western Nebraska. And Jen, I hope you're having a great night tonight and enjoying the summer. Okay, I'm going to just finish off with that. I don't even have time to start another song. So have a great night, everybody. Sweet dreams and be good to each other. Good night.